Uh, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I love this game. It's the only game I've ever played consistently. I started playing the original game in 2014 on the family Xbox 360. My siblings and I would fight for a turn. All of this because we loved the game so much. Gardens and Graveyards was our favorite game mode, of course, and we had such a great time. In 2016, the second game in the series came out, and I was skeptical at first because I loved the original so much that I was afraid this new game would ruin it. My brother tried it immediately, and eventually he managed to get me hooked. I bought the game on Origin for my $200 laptop, which I found out couldn't run the game even on its lowest settings. I decided to continue playing on our PS4, where we originally got Garden Warfare 2, but I kept my PC version for several years until about 2018. I finally built my first gaming PC that could actually run the game, and I loved it. The game ran perfectly on medium settings, and I started to play it daily. For 4 years or so, I continued playing the game regularly. A small group of regulars on the PC version of Garden Warfare 2 was cultivated, and we had a fantastic time. We would have the occasional hacker that would get one of the unadded characters and run around messing with people, but they generally kept it civil, and they often balanced these characters as if they wanted to be fair. In 2022, the EA app came around to replace Origin. Initially, I thought this would be a good thing because why wouldn't I want an improved interface and streamlined experience? This was soured. The EA app is pretty terrible. I think I remember that it bricked Garden Warfare 2 like once or twice. Unfortunately, this foreshadows the future of the game. Now, we close in on the game's release on Steam. I was pretty excited. More players, maybe better support, possible updates, Steam Deck support. It all seemed like a really good deal. I've been playing the game via Lutris on Steam Deck, and performance was inconsistent at best. Garden Warfare 2 released on Steam, and more players definitely flooded in. I bought the game on Steam, and performance on Steam Deck was vastly improved. It was super nice to be able to play my favorite game on the go. For the first year, gameplay was fine. The addition of new Steam players upped the ante, and a lot more tryhards were hopping on and destroying our original Origin crew. Eventually, the Origin crew died out. I stopped seeing the usernames I became familiar with. It was the end of an era. No more casual gameplay, no more friendly feuds. The casual element of this series was a staple back in the Origin days, and the fresh COD-playing Steam add-ins kind of removed it. I think this is part of the reason many of the loyal Origin players left. This was a sad change for me, but it definitely wasn't the worst part about the addition to Steam. Again, going back to pre-Steam days, hackers were occasionally present, but they were, for the most part, civil and fair, and there to be ridiculous additions to the multiplayer experience. Fast forward to the game's addition to Steam, additional players equals additional hackers. Unfortunately, two things happened. The proportion of hackers increased significantly, and the civility that was applied pre-Steam was lost in translation. Pretty soon, one-shot kills became commonplace. Hacking to win became rampant, and ruining the game for other people became a fun pastime for many of these people. We dealt with these conditions for a year or two. Servers crashed, and those that remained, well, it became a sad struggle against tryhards and infinite damage hacks. It seemed like the game was going to die. No more honest players, unstable servers, and a painful experience. One thing sealed the deal, however. In late 2023, rampant banning and loss of user data occurred. Confusion struck those of us left, as we wondered why EA might ban us. It turned out that hackers figured out how to ruin the game in another way. They made it so we couldn't play. This finally caught the attention of one developer who worked with EA, and pretty soon we would get a fix. Unfortunately, this is EA we're talking about. The fix that was delivered solved the banning problem, but hackers became more present than ever before. The game was still essentially unplayable, so EA decided to add anti-cheat. In my opinion, this is the single most ridiculous change made to the game. It solved none of the problems we were having, hackers still run rampant, servers are still unstable, and it straight up ruined any hope of the game being back on Steam Deck. It bricked the Linux, therefore Steam Deck experience, because the anti-cheat software is universally incompatible with Linux. EA just ruined the game for a lot of users. And to the people that say, oh, skill issue, don't buy EA games, shut up. That's not fair to any of us, especially since many of these games were bought years ago. Garden Warfare 2 is a fantastic game, and we all know that EA can make really good games. The don't buy EA games perspective doesn't solve the problem. We own these games, and they're being ruined. We can't go back and unbuy them 8 years later. It's frustrating that EA is this way, and we should work together to let them know what we actually want and make sure that they deliver. Today, Garden Warfare 2 is in quite a state, at least on PC. It's practically unplayable, and for those of us that have been playing it for a long time, this revelation is frankly heartbreaking. I always knew that one day the game would shut down. I just hoped it wouldn't be like this, with rampant hacking, banning, tryharding, and instability. Unfortunately, I think Garden Warfare 2 has finally met its untimely demise, and I'm very sad to see it go. Thank you for watching.